Hey everybody, Sarah here. It's been a while. Today's video is just going to be dinner, and I'll do a little bit of a chat later, but for now I'm just going to show you what I'm having for dinner. But the main point to make is that I'm going to be transitioning to zero carb. We'll get into what that means later, but I'm going to be giving that a try, and we'll see kind of how it feels versus keto and whether I like it better or what. But anyway, just wanted to show what I'm having for dinner tonight and thought might as well make a little bit of a video for it since it's been so long since I've been here. So I have turkey wings. It's kind of I think it's kind of weird thing to be having, but you guys know I love chicken wings, and one day I went to the store and they didn't have any chicken wings, but they did have turkey wings, which I thought was kind of interesting. And price-wise, for the amount of meat you're going to be getting, pretty good. So I thought I would give them a try. So they're about $9.68 per kilogram. This is regular price though. So I mean, you might be able to find them on sale. I don't know. I don't know how common it is to have turkey wings around. So this batch was $5.69, and this one was $5.48. So, you know, $11 Canadian. Not too bad. It looks like there's probably 4 kind of full sets of wings. So definitely lots to eat. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of leftovers, but yeah, so we'll see how I cook these up, so maybe you can see if it might look interesting for you to give it a try. Alright, so I've rinsed these guys off, put them in a bowl, and dried them down. I patted them down with some paper towels. The key to having crisp skin is to make sure the skin is really dry before it goes in the oven, and then it's baked quickly at the high temperature, and usually you'll lower it. This time I'm not going to do that part. I'm just going to cook them at a base temperature. We'll see if I change my mind. But also I kind of heavily salt the skin as well, because the salt will kind of leach out any liquids that are on the skin, and the drier the skin is, the crispier it's going to be. So anyway, now I'm going to add whatever spices I want. Now for zero carb, we're going to get into what it is later, but essentially you're only eating from the animal kingdom, so typically you're not eating a lot of seasonings, but for today I will have a little bit, one that kind of isn't really considered zero carb, just to kind of try it out. I just want to see, especially since this is kind of like the first meal getting into it. I haven't been zero carb for the rest of the day today, so you know, we can kind of ease into it. So, but first off, I'm going to have salt. I'm going to put quite a bit of salt. You guys know I love salt, and of course when you're on a low carb diet you kind of need a lot. So I'm just shaking this through. That's probably good. I don't tend to measure things. I tend to go by how I feel and just wing it. And then I've got my no salt here. So this is for potassium. So just good to kind of have, I like to have it with salt because on its own it can taste a little weird. So I do always mix the two. And then I have, can't open with one hand, trying. I've got some garlic salt, so I'm just going to add a sprinkling of that. You could use garlic powder as well. They do prefer, if you're going to use garlic, that you use a garlic powder over a like full-on garlic, which is a rare that people would prefer that, but it's just because you're not trying to eat plants when you're eating zero carbs. So yeah, so it's like the dehydrated version is usually considered a bit of a safer option. And then I'm gonna have a little bit of onion powder as well. Now if you're making these, you could have whatever spice you want. Like, you don't have to obviously do what I'm doing, and you can put all kinds of different spices on it. You could put jerk seasoning on it. You could put anything on it. And then I've got thyme here, which I just need to open up my thing. So the thyme is just to kind of remind me of Thanksgiving. It's been a little while, at least for those of us in Canada. For those of you in the US, it's coming up. So you guys might want to try this if you're, you know, if you're not with family on Thanksgiving, or maybe you don't have turkey on Thanksgiving, but you kind of want it, it's just something to try. And then I'm just going to try to kind of coat these guys, mix them around a bit, because the ones on the bottom didn't really get anything on them. Almost stabbed my finger with a piece of bone. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Because we don't want to bleed. That's not fun. And like for me, when I eat a turkey, usually it's at my parents' house because I don't have people over for things. I go to my parents still. I'm kind of that age where that still happens. So I eat the holiday dinners are what my parents make. But anyway, when my dad cooks a turkey, the first thing I want is one of the wings. I call dibs on it. I love wings. I just love wings, guys. I am obsessed with wings. And then I'm just going to let these sit for a while. They are just kind of defrosted. I just defrosted them earlier today. I just let them sit to defrost. I don't put them in the microwave or anything weird. Like, I don't like doing that. Ugh. So I'm going to let them sit for a few hours. I'm probably going to, since I put salt on them, I'm probably going to notice more liquid coming out of the skin. So I may pat it down again and add a little more salt and no salt. But we're going to let this sit in the spices probably for at least an hour. You could put it in the fridge for this. You don't have to leave it out. And then we'll get to cooking. Okay, so I have the oven preheated to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I've got the wings in a roasting pan that I've got parchment paper laid out on. I sprayed the parchment paper with an olive oil spray cooking spray, and then I've got the turkey laid out, and I've just kind of put a little dollop of butter on each one, just because that's going to help it'll melt, and we'll have juices to kind of put on top of the turkey while it's cooking. So I'm going to be putting these in now, and like I said, it's preheated to 425 degrees, but I'm going to be switching it down to 350 degrees, and then we'll see how long we end up cooking it for, but I'm probably going to be shooting for an hour or until the skin is crisp. I find with the chicken wings, I cook so many of them that I usually have to cook them for like an hour to an hour and a half to get them all crispy. So we'll see with these guys how long they end up taking. Okay, so here are the wings. Probably end up being more like an hour and a half of cooking because I wanted that kind of crispy brown skin. You can see the other side, it's not really as crispy looking or like dark, but that's okay. I did end up raising the temperature up to 425 or so after the first hour because they weren't browning and I was getting, you know, wanting to get eaten. So I'm going to tuck into a few of these now, and we will see how they taste. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to probably all of this. We'll see, though, how hungry I feel. I'm not super hungry. And so this gets into what is zero carb. So to keep it short and simple, it is eat only from the animal kingdom. So what does that include? It includes meat. And it includes animal products like butter and, you know, some dairy like heavy cream. So it's kind of like keto just went extreme and didn't really care as much about the fat or vegetables. So we'll see how I do. We'll see whether you guys like this or hate this. But it's kind of a decision I knew I wanted to try out. So I'm eating lots of this, but none of that. Lots of this. None of that. So I personally feel like this will work better for me since vegetables are kind of a second thought for me personally anyway. And since I've been struggling so much with carb cravings, binges, things like that, the more I've been looking into this, the better I feel about it and that it could work for me. There's not a ton of information out there in terms of studies on it or anything like that. There's a few websites and some Facebook groups where people have been doing this. They've been doing it for a long time. Lots of the zero carbers have been doing this for 10 plus years. And so with that, I feel encouraged to give this a shot as a real kind of lifestyle change. Now, the only thing for me is that I've always been the kind of person that I don't think I want to kind of take away those special events. So we'll see what happens with that, because obviously only being pretty much eating meat and water is going to impact special events that you have and things like that in terms of the food around it. But at least we'll see if it helps me feel better pain-wise, energy-wise, weight loss-wise, and you know, I hope you guys will still enjoy the videos. I'll still do monthly weight updates. Obviously I missed the last month or so doing those because I've just kind of been really off the wagon. So hopefully you guys find some kind of interest in seeing what happens. You know, you can stick around. I probably won't do daily what I eat videos anymore, just because it will really be meat and more meat. And I won't get super creative probably. So it may be that I mash a few days together of videos, or it may just be I just don't show certain days if I'm eating the same food over and over again. So maybe some less videos for me. But yeah, I'm pretty excited personally. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And be sure to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't and you want to kind of see how this journey progresses. And I will see you guys in the next video.